everyone. Oh my god, I hit the microphone just when I was gonna start it. Pain in my hand, la 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 la. Is the music too loud compared to my voice? Or I'm gonna pull it down a little bit more. Hello! Hello! I'm really tired today, so hey, Johan. I'm really tired, so my eye's gonna be tired. It is what it is. I had a migraine today, and so I'm tired. I hope we can do a good stream anyway. I pushed it. Thank you for following. I pushed it from yesterday to today, and I didn't want to push it again just because I had a migraine. But so here we are. But hello, Leon. Oh, thank you for following. Alright. Damn, I've never gotten followers on stream before. I always get them after stream. That's fun. Hello, Iggy. Hello. So here we are. I also felt. Oh my god, I felt so stupid. My IQ level is very low today because I have my migraine, so bear with me. Thank you. This can't be true. This must be like old people following. Oh, I don't know. Hello, Armino. How are you doing? So my IQ is not the best today. So I was like, okay, we're gonna do this stream where I'm gonna show you my pretty books. But then I felt like, when I was going through my bookcase today, I was like, shit, I don't have any pretty books. But of course I do have pretty books, right? Because it's very subjective. I do have some expensive collectibles as well. But like, if you have seen your books for that long and you know what's in your collection, god damn what people are following, really? Thank you. But yeah, I kind of felt like I didn't have any pretty books to show off, but I do have some pretty books to show off. I do. So I do have like a big pile next to me that I will want to go through. I don't know if you guys are going to feel like they are special, because some of them are just like personal favorites, because it's subjective what people think is pretty or what means a lot to them, and some books I just want to show off because they mean something to me, and they are not expensive in any way, but maybe I got them in a specific way, and that's why that specific book means stuff to me, and that's why that book has value to me, and that's kind of how it is, isn't it? I also, when I went through my bookcase, I found my old diaries, but I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna show those off, but I found them. I did read a little bit of them, and it was definitely, today I'm in love with this guy because he looked at me and that's it. And then the next day it was like, okay, he was sick today, so I saw this guy and he smiled, and it was a beautiful smile, so now I'm in love with that guy. Middle grade dude became crazy. How many books do you have approximately? I never counted them, but I have a few hundred, baby. A couple hundred, I think. I moved roughly a year ago to a new place, and this new place have like a lot of space, which is what I wanted, because I wanted to have a gaming room where I have like all my consoles and my computer and all my nerd stuff, and then I wanted having like my living room area to be a big library, and that's what I'm working on right now. But the thing is, I need to buy so many bookcases, because right now I have a lot of books in boxes, because I still haven't fully gotten them up from the moving boxes yet, if that makes sense. So I still have a ton of boxes everywhere with books in them. So right now I only have like my either books that I really want to read soon, books I haven't read yet but is in my collection, or books that just makes me happy when I see them. They are the ones that's on display right now, but I do have some boxes full of books that just waiting to get out, you know. Jesus. Yeah, the thing is that I had double the amount of what I have now. My dad told me he would not help me move if I didn't cut down on my my books, which I did, and that's when I decided to not keep books that's not special to me. So every book that I have in my collection right now, it's either books that I truly love, that I give 5 out of 5 stars to, or that's a collectible, or it's pretty, or I got the book and it means something special to me. So before I just had a lot of books just to have a lot of books, but right now I want people to come to me and they look in my bookcase and they go, okay, this is who Ophi is as a reader and as a person, because this is what she likes and this is what she enjoys. So now it's not just like a shit ton of random books everywhere. Now it's more like, this is me, if that makes sense. I find myself just collecting books and not reading them. I've been there. I'd usually say to people that there's 3 different kind of hobbies. It's either buying books, because a lot of people, I am one of those, get, you know, these happy feelings when you actually purchase and you buy something. It's not to like collect them, or you want to look at them because they're pretty. You just like the feeling of buying them, knowing that you have bought and purchased them. I do that a lot. So when I'm like sad or depressed, I buy books. But I mean, there's worse things you can be addicted to, right? Then there's another hobby in reading books, and you enjoy reading books. And then it's of course the third one, that's collecting books. And then you get books just because they're pretty, or you collect them in hopes that you're going to read them, but you kind of never do. But then you buy more and more and more and more, and then you kind of like just have them stacking around. But they do look pretty though, so. Hello, Brian. What genre do you read most? I read everything, but I also read a lot for work as a librarian in my real life job. And for work, I read a lot of like middle grade and kids book, because I'm a children's school librarian. So I do read a lot of that, but I can't say it's my favorite. I think my favorite, I like classical literature. I like Roman and Greek plays. I like poems and poetic stuff. I like things from the 1800s, classics. I like horror. I like Gothic. I like family drama books. You know, when they follow different generations, and depending on how different generations do things, it affects the future. Kinda. That's kind of cool. But I read everything. You know, I have a lot of manga, like novels, science fiction, erotica I also have a lot of. Classical literature is fun, but I had trouble with the old-timey language. I do too, yeah. I mean, the more you read it, the more you get into it, and the more easier it will be for you. I had a lot of stuff that was like hard for me to read as well. I remember I think I was 16 when I decided to read the Iliad, and reading the Iliad in not my native language, which is Swedish, but I read it in English, but I also didn't read it in like normal English. I had to read it in like old English. And I was like, why did I have to do it hardcore? You know, it's like playing a game on hardcore, but I felt when I was 16 that I'm gonna do that, and I had never read a classic book in my entire life, and that's what I did. And it was hard, like really hard, and I didn't like it. So I reread the Iliad last year, and I was like, oh my god, this book is amazing. Because like my reading had kind of progressed from back when I was 16 to how it is today, and now I can appreciate the work a lot more because I actually understand it. So, hello gaming. I know I'm late, but I'm gonna be lurking. Oh, that's fine. I love lurkers, that's cool. Eat fresh, stay healthy, stay safe, and remember to stay hydrated. Yes, I got my tea. Oh, hi Gina. Hello, hello. Wait, you're Swedish? I am. Yes, I am. Väldigt svenskt trodde jag. Yes. Gina in chat is also Swedish actually. She's also a streamer and a VTuber. Hejsan från Sverige? Yes, I know you're Swedish too. First I read the Marvel illustrated adaptation of the Iliad, then later I read the Iliad itself in high school. Oh, I mean, that's smart. That's smart. Then you kind of know what it's about. I went into the Iliad completely blind and knew nothing, so I was kind of dumb. So don't be like me. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know, my heart is pounding really hard. I don't know if it's like, you know, letting you guys in and like showing you my favorites because I don't want to be judged. Not that I think you guys gonna judge me, and there's, you know, I got some cool stuff to show off, so I mean, I don't think you're gonna judge me, but I feel weirdly nervous, okay? I like to read philosophy stuff. Oh, I was trying to get into more philosophical books, but I haven't yet. But there's some I really want to read. Getting them filled on my bookshelf. Oh, that's cool. I wanted to read the Iliad, but I'm about... yeah, the names are a bit annoying. I feel like, you know, if you read Russian classics like Tolstoy and Dostoevsky, then you know the struggle of names. Or the Les Miserables, also a huge chunk of characters, and their names are strangely the same, and you don't have like a list of who everyone is. You have to like Google and be like, who this? I'm not ready for Russian classics either. Yeah. I love Russian classics. I realized a few years ago that I'm a sucker for Russian classics. The depression is definitely for me. I like the dystopian, depressed, sad white man apparently. I read Les Miserables in high school too. Was asked why I was punishing myself. It's not punishing. Les Miserables is my favorite time. I didn't because it's like a long series and I'm like scared getting into it. Because either I'm gonna like it and I'm gonna be stuck with like a shit ton of books to read, or I'm not gonna like it, but then it's going to like nag on my mind that maybe book 5 or something is gonna be good, you know, and that I need to like continue reading. So it's definitely, I've been wanting to read it, but I also don't want to read it because it is a series. I don't know. Oh, The Fourth Wing. Yeah, I heard a lot about it, but I haven't really read it myself. But that was like a huge hype book on TikTok as well. Oh, it's completed now? Yeah, maybe I should pick it up then. At some point. There's so many books I want to pick up though. Let me show you my hand cam actually. Hello. Here's my hand. Let me make myself a little bit smaller so you guys can see. Yeah, don't mind my desk being a little bit dirty. My servants haven't been here and clean. I don't know where they've been. I've been all alone in my castle. completely different genre, but have you read The Black Arrow? No, I don't think so. Sometimes I don't remember all the titles. Let me Google it to see if I Black Arrow. Sometimes I recognize like the books when I look at them. Oh right. Oh yeah, it's by. Oh, okay. I've heard about this one, but not specifically read it. No. Oh, you read it under a pseudonym, Captain George North. That's kind of fun. Discovering the heroism of within himself. Yeah, I have not read it. No. Was it a series of book or a book itself finished by another after the author passed? Oh, I see. He died and someone else finished it. Ah. It's kind of like some of the new books, or new, I'm doing quotation marks, not on like new. But Tolkien wrote like a lot for his works, but then his son has kind of like put them together and made like multiple books after his dad's passing. In that way, we have more from the Middle Earth and from Tolkien himself, but it's not like finished work, really. I've seen that happen a lot. This book. You're bringing Legends and Letters on the trip, Gina. I see. We'll lurk a bit, yeah. This book, it's not expensive, but it's part of a big collection. This book means a lot to me, and I think Gina knows why, because when we were in Rome, when we were 18, because Gina is my childhood friend, when we were in high school, we were 18, we went to Rome for our Latin course, because we took Latin, and I wanted to buy a book when I was in Rome. And this is the book that I got. And I know the camera is really bad quality, but I couldn't find anything better. I will try to tell you what it is. This is Ovid. This is Heroes and Amors, like the story of different loved ones and, the heroes of... It's basically different stories written in letter form by Ovid in the Roman time. He wrote them as if the lovers of different heroes would write like love letters, and they have a lot of significant stories and mythological stories and historical stories. And this side is on Latin, and this side is the translated English one. And then you can like read both the Latin or the English one. This one is the Amors by Ovid. That's amazing. I like the style. Yeah. And this is a Harvard edition, and this is number 41. And there's multiple ones in this. The dust jacket that was around, I got it destroyed by some rain one time when I was moving. So it's destroyed. I think you can buy these for like $50 each. And there is a green version from the Harvard one. And the green ones are Greek stories. And then they have like all the Roman authors in this collection, and they also have all the Greek authors in this collection. And it's everything from fictional to like non-fictional works. So it have the philosophical ones as well. I like this because then you can like read the original, but also the translated one. Rain and Moisture is bane of all books, indeed. I sometimes work at the rare bookstores. I love those books. Yeah. Do you have Beowulf? I don't have Beowulf. I don't. No, sorry. But Ovid is one of my favorite Roman authors, and I just love how he have a lot of feminism in his stories. It's, you know, most people write about the heroes themselves or like the gods and everything, but here you usually have like, you know, the human females or the human women and their side of the story, like, you know, how it is to be a lover to Hercules or a lover to Zeus or whatever, you know, because then you can see like they either like happy that he's not coming to see them, Zeus, that's raping women here and there. But I like how he has like that kind of point of view when it comes to things. So Ovid, amazing. I love this. This one is really pretty. I wish I had more. I'm going to buy more, and I'm telling myself that I'm going to buy more, but I never do. But at some point, I want to have all of them, which is probably not realistic because, like, I think they are like 200 or 300 in each. So like the red one is the Latin one and then the green one is the Greek one, and I don't know if I have that much money to like buy. But I remember I told myself like, oh, $50 per book, it's not like that bad. I can probably like, you know, get myself one a month. And I was like, yeah, that never happened. But at some point we're gonna we're gonna collect them. I collect them all. Oh yeah, this is the receipt from Rome. It's completely blank. Great. I'm still keeping the receipt though, because I bought it in a very, very small, in dollars. Dollars. In Swedish, it would be like 600 Swedish or something. I own 2 translations of Beowulf. I recommend Tolkien's translation. Oh yeah, I saw that he had a translation. Let's go to something. Okay, these ones I have in plastic because I don't want them to get water damaged. Let me open them. I haven't opened them for so many years. I'm nervous. Okay. So in Sweden, we didn't really get manga early, but we got like comics and stuff like that. And I was a huge fan of Sailor Moon, and I got my hands on a few collectible Sailor Moon comics, and they are in Swedish, and they are kind of hard to get by. They're not, and these are almost in pristine condition. They are, because I had them in plastic bags that's specifically made for books that you don't want to like get, you know, issued with. So it is basically Sailor Moon, but in Swedish and in color. And they are beautiful. Love them. I have a few of these. This is one of them. I just took a random one just to show you guys. Yeah, I collected these over the years. Some people don't know what they're selling. These can go for like a lot. And I would definitely pay $100 for one of these easily. Some people don't know what they have, and you can find them at like places for like $1 each or something. But yeah, I really love them. I might be wrong, but it kind of feels like from still image from the anime. Oh yeah, it is definitely is. Yeah, so it's definitely like screenshots of the actual anime episodes. that they then put the Swedish bubbles onto. And that's also why every comic is also have the same name as the episode would have but in Swedish. I also have some Swedish VHS bands from the Sailor Moon movies. So I have a lot of like Sailor Moon collections, but these are the ones I like the most. But they are pretty. They're pretty. This one was from 2001. I also have another one. I'm gonna open that one maybe, but I have another one that's from 1997. I have some pretty cool stuff. VHS band, damn, that's nostalgia. Yeah, I'm very old. I'm like 31, so you know, I remember them and the floppy disks and all of that jazz. I remember when the DVD came and my dad was like, "That's never gonna be a thing. It's just like a fly, you know, at the moment, and it's never gonna be huge or big. So we're not gonna buy a DVD player." Look at us now, right? A next book is from, well, you guys gonna see a lot of these, by the way, because they are the prettiest editions that I have ever seen, and it's Barnes and Noble's leather bound. I actually own almost every one of them. There's one I don't have, and it's not being published or produced anymore because it's out of print. And if you want to buy it, it could be anywhere before $500 to $1,000, and that's Narnia from the Leatherbound. This is one of my favorites because blue is my favorite color, and this is kind of like a bluish gray, and then you have the golden things around it, and then purple flowers, and I feel like they are so beautiful. This is 3 novels by the Bronte sisters, and you have the same kind of like pattern on this side, and then you have on the back side you can see which one it is. These are extremely heavy, extremely not practical to have when you read. I have never opened this book before. This is 100% only to display. I've read all of them. I have multiple copies of these actually, because I like them so much. And this is just because it's pretty. Many of my leather bounds are like that because they are so heavy and not very practical to walk around with, but they're pretty. And they also have the golden edges on the side, and you know, that little mark thing you can have. Who's the author? These are 3 sisters. So you see here, you have Charlotte Bronte, Emily Bronte, and Anne Bronte. So it's the Bronte sisters, so they picked one of each. I know that they have multiple collections also. They have another one that they published by Barnes and Noble's leather-bound editions, which they feature other stories. I have that one too, but I find this one to be the prettiest one. It's a beautiful edition. It really is, Take. It really is. I love it. I think my father has a leather back copy from Jane Eyre in his library. Ooh, I love Jane Eyre. It's a good story. Oh my god, golden marked edges in jazz. I think I'm like a crow. Everything that like sparkles or, you know, foils, because you know you can see these also kind of sparkle, like the gold, because like it's foiled. Anything that just sparkles or shines, I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. I like that. I The leatherback book felt so heavy. My dad told me not to touch them, but then I got old. He encouraged me to read books. Yeah. It's just like they're pretty to have and to look at, but if you want something that you can like carry with you on like a trip or something, these are not the books. If you're just going to have them at home and read at home, sure, why not have them? But I don't recommend them for like reading everywhere. I mean, we are all different people in how we read and where we read, of course. Another book, I've talked about this book last stream. It's called 1 Liter of Tears, A Young Girl's Fight for Life. It's actually nothing super special about this book. I mean, it's kind of special, I guess. It means a lot to me. It's based on a true story by Ayakito. This is her translated diary. She had, because she's not alive anymore, she had a disease where she slowly, her body slowly stopped working. It went from like, not being able to use her hands and arms and legs, and she couldn't like walk, and then she had struggling to speak, and then she had trouble eating properly and swallowing, and then she had trouble like breathing as well, because her body just totally stopped working. And this is an edition that they will, because they haven't properly translated her diary, because it's a Japanese book, but this one is technically made for Japanese students to learn English. So it is in English, and you also have some screenshots of how she wrote in her diary. So it is in English, but it's easily made English for Japanese students to understand. And in the end, you can find like translations from the English words to the Japanese. I like it. I myself have a nerve damage that I have to live with, which is really hard. I have some of her. I read this when I was 15. There's also a Japanese movie, there's a documentary, and there's a Japanese drama, a J-drama on it with the same name, 1 Liter of Tears. And it's really good. It's extremely emotional and very, very sad. I felt very seen when I read it, because I was also very scared of many things that she's scared of. It's not on the same level, of course, because she kind of knew she was going to die before she was even like 20, 25. And she was like feeling like she was just a burden to everyone, and why was she even born and stuff like that. There's a lot of thinkings behind it. It's really beautiful. I haven't read it since I was like 17. I read it sometimes, like, parts of it, but I haven't read like the whole thing yet. When I got this, it was out of, they didn't publish it anymore. So when I got it, I was just like lucky to have it, and you can only find it on eBay or something like that. But they started publishing it again, and I think it's because like a new movie about Ayakito's life is out, so they started publishing it again. So it's not a rare book anymore, but it was back in the day when I got it, I think. The Scarlet Ibis, yeah. It's kind of an educational tool of a sort, yeah. I see now I didn't put off the bot thing. Don't mind that one. But this one have been in my collection for many, many years, and I think that you can actually find, there is a website that have all of the book or the entire diary translated. If you just search for 1 Liter of Tears and then Ayakito's diary translated, you can probably find the website. I do recommend it if you are into sad stories. I really like it. This other book is also like one of my favorite books. It's also a Japanese book, and I like it because it again shines. It has blue foils. It's called Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's one of my favorite books I have in my collection because it's beautiful and it means stuff to me. It's actually a sci-fi book about this cafe where you can go and you can travel back in time. There's only a few rules though, that you anything you do back in the past will not actually affect the present. So if you want to change something, nothing is going to change when you come back. And you cannot leave the chair from the cafe, which means that you can only go back in time, but you have to sit on the same chair that, well, is in the cafe. Some people feel like, what's the point then? But a lot of people go to this cafe with their loved ones maybe, and then if something happens, they can go back and maybe like say something that they never got to say and stuff like that. But before, you need to drink the coffee before it gets cold, because if the coffee that you are being served when you go back to the past gets cold, you will turn into a ghost in the future. So you need to drink your coffee before it gets cold, so you only have a few minutes when you actually are in the past to say and do whatever it is you want to be done. And it's kind of like episodic in a way it's written. Some people, they want to maybe go back and tell a loved one something before they died or something like that. The author is right now going to publish book number 5 in the series. So it's a huge series and it's very beautiful, very pretty. I like the aesthetic of how it looks like, and that's kind of like why I bought this book. Then it turned out that it has such a wholesome story to it. The second book in the series wasn't my favorite because that one kind of focuses on the people of the cafe, and I myself didn't actually care about the cafe people. But I know there's a lot of other fans that do. A lot of Japanese writers really knows the slice of life narrative. They really do. They get that. But this is also extremely sad. I'm also working on a video where I'm going to talk about this book more specifically and give other kind of suggestions of other books that kind of reminds you of this one, and that has kind of like the same slice of life, wholesome vibe, but also very sad, because this one can get very sad. I definitely cried to this one. I don't cry to a lot of books, but this one I really cried to. I don't really have anything to say because it's not like, it's mass produced, it's not expensive, it's not a collectible, it's just like a book I want to show everyone. If someone asks me to like give them a tip for a book to read, this is my go-to. Like, if you haven't read this, you should 100% read this, because it's like one of the best books ever written, in my opinion, of course. Yes. Next book. Oh yeah, this one. This one is not because of the book itself, because I feel like the book is not the best, which is another story in itself, but it's pretty, right? It has this like gray kind of stuff, and then they have like the Japanese on the side, but that's not like why I like it. Why I like it is because, can you see it? I know you can't see it. Oh yeah, maybe? No. Okay, you can't see it. Damn it. Okay, let me explain then. this book is fucked up by the producer, like, you know, in the production. Or maybe you can see it. Like, the pages up here on the side, usually, you know, they should be a straight line and they should be like in the same kind of like, you know, cut the same. So it's like the same. But these are not. They go like, every page is different and they look kind of ripped. Like they haven't used like a knife to like cleanly cut it. So they are like kind of ripped in different ups and downs, which kind of make it, because you know, you did that back in the day. I can see the ridges, yeah. So you know, you did that back in the day because you didn't really have anything to do that like cut. So if you're looking for really old books, this is like how it would look like. But this is a new book that's newly produced, and they just kind of fucked it up in the productions. And they were like, when I told them, they were like, oh my god, we're so sorry, we can send you a new book. Which I did get the new book, but I didn't like it. I kind of like this because it, oh yeah, there maybe, because it gives you character. It's just like some chunks are taller than other chunks, and I kind of like it, and that's kind of why I like it. So it was not on purpose, it was just like accidentally made because it was just in a machine probably that just fucked it up. For anyone wondering, it's the memory of a geisha, and I don't know if you guys know the story, but it's supposedly told about a very famous geisha that, you know, lived. It's by Arthur Golden. But that geisha, she said that he listened to her story and then he kind of like fetishized her, and she hated that. And what he kind of like wrote about her, for example, in this book, he writes that geishas kind of like sell their virginity to the higher bidder and stuff like that. And she was like, I never told him that, and she didn't understand why he did that. So she kind of sued him for this book. And then she wrote her own book about like what really happened. So geisha in the Second World War time-ish. Kind of like, you know, I feel like the movie is pretty good, but 100% not historically accurate, for sure. Well, then maybe they could say, well, I just like the ridges. That's kind of why I like this book. That's my only like. Oh yeah, I have some children's books. This one is a Swedish book. For all you people who are not Swedish, you will not understand, but I will tell you. This book is not being produced anymore, which is extremely sad. I've been trying to get my hands on this for a very, very long time. One day I found it in the library where I was working at, and in a school library, and the teachers told me that this one was too bloody to have in the library, and they were like, can you maybe like throw it away? And I was like, sure thing. Took it home. Clearly I'm not dumb. So the book is kind of like, could you? And it tells a story about this girl, and she's very curious for her age. And she's asking, you know, important questions, you know, throughout her life. And it gets slowly more and more bloody. So, like, you know, the first question she's asking is like, you know, I wonder if you can, like, climb the tree without hurting yourself. And she's like, I wonder if that's possible to, like, climb a tree and not hurt yourself. And then you get to the next page, and she's like, no, you can't. Because if you climb tall enough, you're going to hurt yourself. You know, it's not good. And then what does she ask next time? She's asking, I wonder if you can like curl your hair with a drilling machine. I mean, it's important questions, right? And no, you cannot. It doesn't work very well, does it? You know, to drill into your own head. lobotomizing yourself. And there's so many stories about these girls just asking questions. It's like, you know, can you safely feed a shark? You know, can you give a shark some fish? Is that safe? And then of course, no, you can't. you really can't. he will take your entire arm. It's no good. And it's like, can you pick your nose with a knife? Definitely good questions, right? But no, you can't. That was also a very, very dumb idea. So I really like this one, only because of that. They had to like stop making them. A lot of parents got like really angry. It's not translated. It's only in Swedish by Peter Lidbeck. He's he's a famous child author. But I don't know why parents got mad, because like every time, because I've read this to kids, you know, as a school librarian, I read a lot of books for kids, and kids love it because like they know that you can't feed a shark. And they love how gruesome and bloody it is, and it's like fun. Like, you know, you think it's going to be kind of like scary and spooky, but the kids love it. So I don't know why the parents don't like it, but I'm happy about it because that means that I could take this home from work. The perks of being a librarian: if they don't want the books, I can take them, right? Where are her parents at? Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. You should definitely check out the Red Tree, but I love Shantan. I'm actually making another video. I have so many videos that I'm working on. Another video about like children's picture books. Well, not children's pictures, but like picture books that's made for adults specifically. And Shantan is on that list, clearly, because he does amazing work. Maybe a smaller species of shark, like a horn shark? Yeah, maybe. My mother used to take care of kids when I was younger, doing self-inflicting pain similar to cartoons, always made them smile. Yeah. My mother was a teacher. Ooh. Oh, you met him this year. Oh my god, that's so cool. Was he a nice guy? Really cool guy? Yeah. But I don't know, I like, you know, books like this. It makes me, you know, happy to see, like, you know, look at the tiger, grr. But yeah, if you're not Swedish, it might be hard to find. I mean, it's hard for Swedes to find also because, you know, I looked for years and I couldn't find it until one day. Another children's book that I have, that's one of my favorite, is because, I mean, it's Snow White, and everyone knows the story of Snow White, you know, by the Grimm brothers. But I love this illustrator, Benjamin Lacombe. I have a few of his children's books, and he also done other picture books that's more for adults. But I just love how it really looks gothic and grim. And this one is a Swedish version. I know there you can find this as a English version as well, by Benjamin Lacombe. It's a French illustrator, I think, in the beginning. I've read this for a few children of mine. I read it for my oh wait, no, there we go. The blush started. I read it for my nieces or nephews, and they didn't really like it. And I think it's because of the darkness of the pictures. Me, can we not have a? Thank you. I look drugged when I have the blush on. I think it's like, you know, they didn't fully understand you know, the artistic style of the illustrations. I think it's more meant for adults, but it kind of gives me the, you know, Tim Burton kind of style of it. Is it the original tale? Yeah, it's the original tale, so it's 100% Snow White, the Grimm version, not the Disney version. But they made it with different illustrations. And I mean, I get this, because this is like, you know, the queen and she's like locking her away, but she's also a peacock, which doesn't make sense, but like it's more symbolism to it. So I mean, I understand that children doesn't 100% understand it. A bit serial art. Yeah. Peacocks are male. That too. That too. It doesn't make sense sometimes. Why am I clicking on every button there is? Can I not be mad? Thank you. But yeah, I like it because it's really beautiful. Do you have the dwarves? They're so cute. Look at them. But they're like smaller than dwarves. These are more like, you know, thumb and finger sized. How much did it cost? I mean, this is mass produced. I feel like, you know, maybe $15, 115 Swedish, 200 Swedish, maybe $20 ish. Like, you know, it's the same cost for any book, I think. It's not. Oh, I paid 179 Swedish for it, so say $18 then. They look like tomtar and gnomes, exactly. I like it. I think it's very cute. And I feel like that's a good transition to go to this book. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Pan's Labyrinth. It's a really good fantasy movie if you haven't seen it. The filmmaker and you know, the producer Guillermo del Toro has written. He felt like, you know, he couldn't tell the entire story in movie form, so he decided to contact Cornelia Funk, which is a child author, and they wrote this fantasy story, which is the same story as the movie, but they kind of added a few things to it. So it's more like in-depth story of it. The Labyrinth was great and scary. The pixie eating skin. Oh yeah, exactly. And I feel like this is just such a pretty color, you know, of it. It's just like so pretty. And I'm like, and not only that, but if you take away the cover, you also have the fawn, the inside. Isn't he super cute? I need to go. Bye-bye, Asakari. Bye-bye. Have a good day. And I feel like this is such a pretty edition. And it doesn't stop there, because like every cover also have like the trees on the sides. This is also like, if you're in a reading slump and you haven't read in a very long time, and you feel like, you know, you want to read something that's fast-paced but is still really good, I want to recommend this. I read this in one sitting. I started 8 in the morning, or maybe 9, in the evening, 8 or 9 in the evening, and I was just going to like read for an hour before bed, but then I heard the alarm clock in the morning, because I read all night, and I read it in one sitting, and it was so good, and I was mesmerized, like 100% mesmerized. This is just a fantastic book. I do recommend it. And this edition of it is just super pretty. It's also not expensive. It's like the same kind of like $20-ish something. You gotta hate it when this book is too good. Yeah. You know, especially if you're like me, because I can zone out really easily. So to me, it's like, I know other people can like maybe, you know, read and then be like, oh no, I've been reading for an hour, I really need to go to bed. And they like can have that monologue with themselves. But when I start reading, I kind of like legit get stuck and I forget about like time and space. And then when I just wake up from like a slumber, I'm like, oh shit, what time is it? So I know that if I need to be up in the morning, I shouldn't read because I never know if the book is gonna be this good or not. You know? I miss reading books in one sitting. Yeah. I don't really do it that often anymore. That song was really annoying. Can I find something that's easily to listen to? Sorry, the background music is just annoying. Maybe this one? Is a pling 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 in an annoying way. Oh yeah. This is 100 times better. Okay, there we go. Sorry. This is how it's currently with Lovecraft for me. Oh no. The worst part of losing track of a good book is realizing you've reread the same paragraph over and over. Oh, I've done that too. I sometimes, you know, I just like zone out so much that, I mean, it's also the same when I'm listening to audiobooks. Like, I'm so relaxed that I zone out, but then I don't listen. I think I listen, but then I realized that I have no idea what happened the past hour when I listened. And I have to like go back. We have, okay, so now we have more Barnes and Noble. You know the pretty book with the Bronte sisters. We have more. Gotta go, y'all. Oh, bye-bye, Dorian. Bye-bye. Have a good day. This is another one of my favorite ones, is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Like this, the book is one of my favorite books as well. But just look at this cover. It's blue, it got the eagles, it got the gold and trimming. Like, it's so pretty. Oh my god. Did I buy this just because it was pretty? Yes, I did. Was this the one that made me realize that I also love Russian literature? Yes, it was. Am I happy I got it? Yes, I am. Look at this. Oh, it's so pretty. War and Peace. It got yes, it got the golden pages too, and then the golden flirpy flirp for like see where you are. And then you have the back. Oh, look at the crust. Look at the crest. Oh, yes, it is pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I want to cry when I look at it. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm really into military kind of looking stuff, I think, and gold and blue. Oh, bye-bye, Brian. See you later. Bye-bye. This is a classic, but I haven't seen a cover like this. Yes. What was the title? Is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I love Leo Tolstoy. He's such a good mastermind when it comes to writing. This book is such a big chunk as well. Like, look at the inside as well. Oh my god. So pretty. But the only thing with these are that the text is so small. And the pages, you know, sometimes, you know, when you read a Bible and it's like super thin pages and not like normal pages. Yeah, this is that. It's like super thin and then it's like just so much text. So it's not very comfortable reading because it's heavy. The text is smaller than usual and it just feels like there's so much text, you know. Like the book is a big chunk, like it is. But if you have dyslexia, like I do, this is not dyslexia friendly to read from. You know? Like there are copies that have more space between. It gives you a little bit more flow, a little bit more air. This is just small for being small. And yeah. Love this book though. Like, oh my god. Changes you as a human after you read it. But War and Peace. So pretty. Ah! Okay, I don't really have much more to say than more than it's pretty. Buy it. No. I mean, if you want something pretty that's going to make people go, oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, these are the books to do it with. Another one in the Barnes & Noble, the leather-bound edition, is this one. Oh my god. Oh, I need to hug it a little bit before I show you. The Great Gatsby. And it's also gold. Isn't it pretty? Ah, look at it! Do you sometimes cover up upcoming sections of the page because you don't want to be accidentally spoiled? Maybe. Sometimes it happens. But as you can see, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and stuff, but you have the blinking light in the distance and you have the fabulous 1920s-esque kind of like, you know, the pearls and the feathers and it's so pretty. I feel like I'm noticing a pattern of golden books. Shh, you know nothing. And then you have the back. Look, okay, I haven't taken this off yet. Oh yeah, I remember why. I started a little bit and then I saw the color kind of like came off. So I need to get a heating gun to get this away. But here you have the main character standing on his bridge, looking longingly on the light. And if you have read or seen the movie of The Great Gatsby, you know exactly what that means, and it's super romantic and okay, sorry, I got a little bit too excited on that one, but this puts my paperbacks from Penguin's House to shame. I have multiple of the Penguin House too. They are super good to have, I'm not gonna lie. And then you have the insides. Oh, so pretty. Also, I haven't opened this book like at all. I bought it because it was pretty. I've read The Great Gatsby. It's one of my favorite stories as well. So I have actually read the story, and I have it in multiple editions. This is just because it's pretty. They also have other stories because The Great Gatsby is actually a very, very, very thin story. But because eye candy, maybe a little bit. Don't judge me, please. To be honest, all of these are. Okay, another one. Well, this is not a Barnes & Nobles, but this is pretty though. Does it consist of gold? Yes. Yes, it does. It's The Hunchback from Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. This is 100% leather. You know, it's a flexi bound, a leather flexi bound, and it's so pretty. And then you have the Notre Dame, and inside here you have a different kind of words that has to do with the story. So you have Gypsy, you have the Gringor, you have, you know, the Paris and everything. So there is like, if I feel here, it's like it goes up there, so to speak. It's really pretty. And then you also have a little Gringoyle thing there. And you have a little bit on the back side about it. But it's really pretty. Gina, that was in... I haven't read this one yet, actually. It's on my TBR list, to read list. So I haven't read this book. I bought it because it was pretty and because I love Victor Hugo, but I haven't read this book yet. I've only seen the Disney version. Scared me as a kid. Yeah, I really liked the Disney movie. All I remember is that the villain is a massive ass. Yes, indeed. I like it. Like, you know, to look at. But yeah, what I was gonna say is, what is this called again? Oh yeah, it's called Word Cloud Classics. So if you guys like the look of this, almost every classical book is being made into this edition as well, and this is called Word Cloud Classic because they have like a cloud of words inside the words from the book. Yeah, that's how they make them. And it's like flexy, so it's not that heavy if you compare to the Barnes & Noble's leather bound. So that's pretty good. But Gina, she collects these. She likes them. I only bought it because the Barnes & Noble that I collect didn't have the Hunchback from Notre Dame. And I don't really like the penguins. The penguins classics are very, very cheap compared to what these cost. But it's also like, I don't like how black the text is or how like pushed together the text is. It doesn't really vibe with me and my dyslexia. So I kind of prefer this somewhat. If that makes sense. It's pretty. I like it. Next book. oh, another leather bound. Okay, I own all of them, but I didn't bring all of them. But I'm realizing now that there is a lot of them here anyway. Okay, don't judge me. This is also golden. It's the same author from War and Peace, Leo Tolstoy, but it's Anna Karenina. I think I prefer Anna Karenina. I love this story more than I do War and Peace. The only thing is, this story is about Anna Karenina, and I hate her as a character. She's like the worst character of all time, and I hated everything she did. Yet I read 1,000 pages about her, so I don't know what that says about me. But it's so pretty. You got the white, the gold, the red, and the blue. Wait, it's kind of American, isn't it? Now that I think about it. Damn. But it's really pretty though. This one, when I read Anna Karenina, I actually read from this copy, which was really annoying because it was heavy, so I couldn't bring it anywhere. Looks pretty Victorian, yeah. But yeah, yeah. I think everyone should read Anna Karenina at some point in their lives. Like, to be honest, I feel like, you know, everyone should read a Leo Tolstoy story at some point. But I do know that he writes like really long books, like this one and the War and Peace one. But he has some short stories that are easier to get into, maybe. Don't think I've heard of this one before. Oh yeah. it's kind of about sexism, you know, kinda. About this woman called Anna Karenina. She is very high up. She has a good marriage, or you know, she's married to a wealthy-ish man who does what he does best, you know, in life, and he treats her well. But she's kind of bored, and she doesn't actually love him. She kind of more married him because it was a good match. Then she finds a lover, and that's when she gets like this brutal awakening for the fact that as a man, you may divorce your wife and you may have multiple lovers, and that's fine. But as a woman, if you get divorced or you have lovers, you're going to be shunned out of society and the nobility, because that's disgraceful. And what are you doing with your life? And she can't leave her lover behind, and she really loves her lover a lot. Her husband is such a true gentleman, and he's very much like, you know, wanting to like hide the fact, and he's like, you may see him and all of this, and I will help you, you know, and he helps her with everything. But she's still extremely selfish, and she does everything she wants to do anyway. She doesn't care about anyone, but that's also going to end with her own downfall. It's great. It's good. It's a historical fiction. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, it's a classic, so it was written a long time ago. This is cool. The next one. My nose. We have this one. Dante's The Divine Comedy. So pretty. This has all 3 parts in it. It has so it also golden, you know. You got the Inferno on the side. Then in the back you have this one, the beautiful circle of heaven, with all the angels going into one where God is supposed to be. And here we have Dante himself. I finished this book last year, I think. That belongs in the Sistine Chapel. Everything I know from this story, I learned from a video game. It's really good though. Like, it's strangely good. But you know, it got illustrations, which helps a lot. And everything is in verse. And I thought that was like, you know, oh, that's basically nothing. You know, there's no text in here. Look at this. You know, you can read this easily, you know, until I realized that I read, like, you know, this part over and over again. And I was like, I don't understand. It goes in one way and out the other. So I really had to like focus and really know what it is I'm reading. And sometimes I had to like legit Google and be like, okay, what does this chapter actually mean? And then after reading a summary of the chapter, I had to go back and reread the chapter. And I was like, okay, now I see it. Because sometimes I just didn't get it. And I think it's also like, 1, I'm dyslexic. 2, I was very stressed out when I decided to read this, and I was not in a good mental state. Not very good. You need to be like, no, kind of in a good mental state, because like it takes a lot of brain power. But then it's also in Old English, so it wasn't super easy reading it. But when I did actually start getting through it, and I started like, you know, understanding how to read it more properly, it got really good. It got really good. But something that I learned was reading it out loud to myself made it easier to kind of like understand than just reading in my head. But yeah. I've been having ideas of maybe doing a video where I do like a short summary of every chapter. but I haven't decided yet. And here you have the fallen angels, the black ones, and then you have the proper white angels. It's pretty. I like it. It's a good copy of it. But Dante's Divine Comedy is really, really good. And if you have read a lot of Roman and Greek literature before, especially the Iliad and Odyssey and everything, I feel like you have a more understanding of this, because there's also a lot of authors from the Roman and the Greek time that is in here. And there's a lot of like characters or historical people in here. And if you know who they are, and you can like place them somewhere, it's easier to understand 100% the meaning behind everything. I mean, there is one chapter when he's like making fun of his sister's cousin, or sister's husband's cousin, or something like that, and he's like, ah ha ha, he ended up in hell because he did this in his life, ah ha ha ha, you know. And it's written as if we know that already. So I felt like reading this, you also have to do like a lot of research to fully understand everything in it, and there's a lot of symbolism in it as well that you kind of need to understand, like what do they mean when they talk about this and this, stuff like that. But if you can get past that, it's a great book. Self-inserted fan fiction? Yeah, definitely. Being accepted as canon? Yeah, it is. It definitely is. It's kind of funny though that, you know. Another book that we have is this one, Les Miserables. This is actually the first leather-bound Barnes and Nobles that I bought for myself. The most I spent is like 40, maybe 50 on a book. Oh, I've gone a lot above that. This is great recommendation. Yeah, I've been trying to get in read religious novels. Oh, really? Really? You should definitely read Dante's then, the Divine Comedy. It's technically like 3 books, or 3 parts of it. Sometimes you have to buy them separately, and sometimes you can buy them in one. The one I have, you have all 3 of them in one. We have, I just find this really beautiful. I like these swirls, you know? And the, you know, everything about the Napoleon War and the French Revolution, you know? I don't know. I actually saw the movie first, and then I read this book, and I fell in love with the storytelling. The gold covers patterns really showing itself. Stop! I told you, I'm a crow. I see a pretty book that's glistening, and I pick it up. The gold leaf pages and the bookmark. Yeah, I love it too. I really love it. I didn't know I was going to like Les Miserables, but as you can see, there's a lot of text. And the thing with Victor Hugo, who wrote Les Miserables, is he can spend maybe like, I don't know, 60 pages or something describing a man. And he describes him in 100% detail of both how he looks like, how he moves, his entire philosophy, his religion, his entire family tree, and you know exactly 100% everything about this man. Because you've read 80 pages of him, and you think to yourself, I wonder what this man is gonna do, you know, because he is definitely important to the story, right? Yeah, and then you get to... Then it turns out that this man is just there to give one line to the actual main character, and then we never see this man again. That we spent 80 pages getting to know. And We will never see him again because he says his one single line and then he's gone forever. And you might think, oh shit, Dolphy, that's horrible. I could never read a book like that. But you know, I realized I like that. And that's why all my books are so thick. Look at these big bad boys. You know, and if you look at it, Tolkien is the same. He can spend like, 10 pages describing a tree. The tree doesn't matter. The tree will be a tree no matter how much lore you give the tree. And then you will never see the tree ever again. But we will describe the tree for you in 10 pages. And that's why I like Tolkien. I don't know why, but it's something about descriptions and long-winded descriptions that just, it makes my heart flutter a little bit. Yeah. I've read some books, and I feel like, when I've read these books, and it's mostly classical books, you can find this, right? But if you read a more like up-to-date, more up in present time book, I get so bored because we get no descriptions. I have to like make up everything in my head. You don't tell me. You don't give me the atmosphere. You don't tell me anything about the character's background. It's mainly like, a lot of dialogue. And I have to learn to I have to learn about the characters through the dialogue, and it's just boring to me. I like the long-winded descriptions. It's beautiful. I have a hard time getting through books with a lot of description. Stephen King is super guilty of it. Funny that you would say Stephen King, my dear fellow. Let's get into the Stephen King books, shall we? I'm a huge Stephen King nerd, and it's probably the long-winded descriptions, like I said. I love Stephen King. Stephen King is like, nom nom. Look at that. Yeah, I have 2 bookcases dedicated to Stephen King. This book, I have so much to tell you. This is It, by the way, by Stephen King, but it's the Swedish It. And you can see it's pristine. It's basically new. And you'll be like, is it new, Ophi? Is it? No. It's a first edition. And it not only the first edition, but it was a few of the few that was made the first. It's like the first ever published Stephen King It in Sweden. And it's in pristine condition. Look how sleek and beautiful it is. And you might wonder, oh my god, it's first edition. What is it worth? What did you pay for it? How did you get it? Well, little children. I got it. Oh my god, I felt like I scammed a person. Oh, I feel so ashamed just thinking about it. But I definitely knew what it was worth, okay? A guy my age, like 30 something, his dad had died and his dad owned this book. And in Sweden, because the book is so thick, it's in 2 parts. This is part 1, and then there's a part 2. I do have the part 2 as well because they came as a package. And the guy, he didn't know. I asked him to send me a picture of the inside, because in the inside, here, you can see what edition and everything it is when it was published and all that. And he sent it to me and I was like, shit, this is like the best of the best. You can't find anything better than this. And he wanted $5 for it. I know it's worth $300. And he wanted it for $5. And I was like, you know what? I will take it. And he was like, oh, that's great. My dad, he really liked Stephen King, but I'm not really a big fan. And he has so many books, and I thought, you know, it's pretty good, you know, good condition. And I thought maybe someone wanted it, and I was like, yeah. We don't need to talk more. Just give it to me. And I was sent it, and it's like, you see, it's 100%. Not even the dust jacket has any issues. You made it out like a I did. I thought I was legit scamming the dude. I thought he was scamming me. I was like, I don't understand. To this day, I don't understand how I got it, but I have it. And it's beautiful. It's worth roughly $300, mainly because I have both part 1 and part 2. And you can see here, it says det ett. Det means it, and 1 is part 1. The other one, I think, is green-ish. In the color down here, this is blue. The guy watching this now, I hope he never sees this. Oh my god, I feel like such a scammer. But I also feel like this cover is so creepy. Like, look at that. Why is he so creepy? If you look at, like, you know, the newer publications of it, it's not creepy. The Swedish cover is creepy. He's just standing there pointing at you. I don't know. My dad also have this, but it's not a first edition. And I always thought that this was super freaky, man. Can you see it properly? He's just staring at you, smiling and pointing at you. I don't know. I always found the Swedish title Det funny. Yeah, same, to be honest. I was, you know, I read the Swedish one and the English one. I read both, and you know, every time they're being like, oh my god, det kommer efter oss. Vi måste springa ifrån det. I don't know, it's really weird. But you want to see my most expensive book of all time? Because this is not the only time I was lucky. I've been lucky another time. And we're not actually going to move that far. It's the same book. But the English one. First edition Frankenstein? No. It could have been, because I do love Frankenstein. I've been looking at Frankenstein's first editions, but they are really expensive. I was wrong, you were wrong. This is in plastic because I don't want to take it out. I have tried to put plastic on it as good as I can, because this is also a pristine edition, first edition, never before touched, Stephen King It. Oh, I'm so excited about this. There's nothing wrong with it. There's like legit nothing wrong with it. And it's so beautiful. Oh my god. This one is, if I would have sold this to a collector, it would probably somewhere about $800, maybe $1,000, depending on who I'm selling it to. It's worth a lot. I saw some guy. I'm part of Stephen King Reddit because, you know, I love Stephen King, and someone was like, you know, they found a first edition of Dumaki, and it was signed. And as many Stephen King lovers know, Stephen King stopped doing signatures and autographs around late 90s or something like that, maybe before that even, because he couldn't really be bothered. He thought it was just like, you know, he doesn't have time, he has too many fans, and so he doesn't really have releases anymore, and he doesn't really do signatures anymore. But if you do know him, or, you know, stuff like that, you come up to him, he could sign for you if, you know, he has a good day, I guess. So if you find a book with his signature in it, it will 100% be worth between $10,000 and $20,000. And that's insane. I don't have that, but I saw a guy who was like, I was at this bookstore and I found this book and it was like $10. I got it. It looks like his real signature. There's a lot of, falsely made signatures. Of course, you would need to get like someone to like see if it's actually his real signature. I've been seeing a lot of his signature on eBay and they sell them for maybe like $1,000 or something like that. But if you don't have the authentication for it, you don't really know if it's true or not. Imagine having the power and sign something and it's suddenly worth 10 grand. It's insane. Yeah, I think it's also because he doesn't sign stuff, and like the less you do it, the more the value of it will be. I think he knows that his signature is really, really valuable. But that's just crazy to me. I got this, I bought it for $300, I think. I got this. So this was really expensive to buy. It would be roughly 3,500 Swedish or 3,500. Something like that. So I did put a big chunk of money into this. Hello, Daniel. But like, it is worth the double. So on that, I'm happy. I did import it from the US. So I feel like the postage was really, really 300 for a book. Wow, yeah. But it is worth 600, so I only paid half of it. And when I bought it, because I think it was worth 300 when I bought it, so I was like, Stephen King is my favorite author. I really want to have a collectible. You never see books like this in pristine condition. I really want it. And I thought to myself, I do have the money to spend and sploosh a little bit, on a book. It was worth 300 at that time. Right now, that was like 5 or 6 years ago. Now it's worth 600. So it's gone up in price, and that's cool. But I'm gonna keep it in my plastic case. It's kinda breaking, but I don't want it to die. Stay. I have a book tower now next to me. That book we did talk about. Oh yeah, we have this book. Like, Lordy Lou. Good morning, that man. If I sign something, I will get charged for vandalism. Oh no, you have to sign your own things. This is another thing, another book. I put it into my collection this summer. If someone have seen my vlog from this summer, you may have seen this book. This is a huge bargain, and again, I don't think the owner of this book had any idea what they were sitting on, and I found that really funny. So what other books do you have besides Stephen King? Oh, I can't really say my entire library. I have so many books. But this book I've been looking for. I don't know if you guys know of the anime called Blood Plus or Blood the Last Vampire, but it is one of my favorite animes. And there are books that is inspired by these animes. They are kind of like light novels, but also kind of not at the same time. This is based off the first movie. The first movie they made is Blood the Last Vampire. It's about this girl, Saya, who kills vampires with her own blood with a katana, and she's very cool looking. After this one, they made another series called Blood Plus, which is longer, and so on. This book is not in print anymore. You can't find it. If you want to buy it, you can find it on eBay, and it could be between $100 and $300 roughly. I went to an anime con in Sweden that's called Närcon. Yeah, if you find it, exactly. And I went to Närcon, which is a huge gaming and anime convention in Sweden. It's probably one of the biggest one in the Nordic countries. And in this alley, you can sell stuff that you don't really want anymore. You have both, artist alley, and you have, secondhand stuff. And this was in the secondhand stuff. Someone owned this book and they didn't want it anymore, so they resold it to someone else. I found it and I thought my heart was going to stop, because I was like, I've been looking for this book for years. Many years, and you can't find this book anywhere. And I found it, but when I've seen it, maybe somewhere, it always sells in like 2 seconds on eBay or something, and it's always like a huge price on it. And I was like, they probably want like something ridiculous for this, but no. They wanted $8 for this book. Oh my god. I feel like such a horrible scammer every time, because I know what it's worth. And when I see that they're selling it for like that small of an amount, it's just like I scream in happiness, in my body. And I'm like, I have to play it cool. Because I don't want them to be like, why is she so extremely happy? Something is off. So you have to be like, oh yeah, it's pretty good price. Yeah, I can buy that. And I'm jealous. Yeah. And I got it. And I feel ridiculous for having it. Because it doesn't... I got it this summer in June, I think. No, July. It was the end of July, which is, not that long ago. And I still feel like it's not true. I don't own the book. It does have some coffee stains. I don't know if you can see it. But a little bit here is some coffee stains. It's not much. It's just like a little bit of a drizzle. Otherwise, it's good as new. It's kind of like no one have read it, because it's like I don't know. I'm so happy that I have it. Do I still? Oh, I don't. I think that they looked in the back, because in the back it cost $8 when it was new. And I feel like, maybe they bought it for $8 when it came out, and then they were like, okay, I will sell it for $8 or something. I think that's what they did, not knowing what book they had. But yeah. How long have you been collecting books? Since I was a kid, and I'm 31 now, so... My entire life, Mom. Oh, good night, Dino. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a good night. When we're on the case of the Blood Plus series, like I said, after that movie, The Last Vampire, they did Blood Plus, the series. Which they made 4 light novels too. That's called Blood Plus. This is the first. I have all 4 of them. Also, not in print anymore. Also extremely hard to get your hands on. I bought them when they came out, so I didn't pay much for them. I think it was like $8 or $10 ish, something like that. Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you, Dark. Oh, you gave it to Lena. Oh, Yoko. Armando. Look at everyone. And Doctor got one as well. Thank you for giving memberships. Heart. Thank you so much. Let's go. But yeah, these are really hard to find. It's very like, you know, rare to find them on eBay or anywhere to be sold. And if you do find them, they can be... I've seen someone sell all 4 books for maybe 100. I've seen others sell maybe 1 for 100. It's very different on who sells and who doesn't. Swish's cape, my job here is done. Gotta go, have a great evening. Bye bye, Dark, and thank you so much for the memberships. But yeah, I really like this series. It's nothing much to it really. If you're into some really cool if you're into some really cool, like, you know, vampire stories and action stories, I do say that this is really good. It does have a lot of people dying, important people dying, which is not always that they kill characters off. It does have a good moral story to it, and it does have a good amount of action to it. I do recommend it. This light novel is not... I mean, it's based on the anime. The anime came first. After the anime, they wrote these 4 light novels, and after the light novels, they made mangas, and I have the manga as well, but the manga is really bad. These light novels are okay. They don't give anything extra, so I just feel like watching the anime is 100% the best. And I want to promote the books, but I can't really, because they don't give you that much extra, you know. I thought after watching the anime, I was like, I need to read them as well, because usually you get like a little bit more information or more background stories in the books, and they give you like a little bit more meat on your bone. But these books didn't do that. It's basically just a retelling of the anime, episode for episode. I used to have all the DVDs for Blood Plus, but person I used to hang out stole them. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I have them on DVD, and I also have the movie. I also have the live action movie. I don't recommend the live action movie. It's okay, but it wasn't really that good. Then they also made the Blood Sea. That's like... It's technically not part of the same universe, and it's not really part of the story, but it's like, it's another high school girl who's a vampire who has a katana and she kills, and she's also named Saya, but the story is 100% different. I didn't like that one, so skip that one if you don't into it. But that's those 2 is kind of valuable as well that I have. Another one I want to show off. Hello, my name is Neffy. Hello, Neffy. Welcome, welcome. Is my Frankenstein book. I have multiple Frankenstein books because Frankenstein is one of my favorite classic books. I have many favorite classical books, but I like this one because of the illustrations inside it. It also have an introduction by Stephen King, which I really like because his introduction and intro is really, really well written. But I love all the illustrations in this book. So if you want to buy a very affordable Frankenstein edition that has beautiful illustrations, I recommend this one. I saw another book YouTuber, own this one, and she was like, look at the illustrations. And I was like, yeah, I'm sold. I'm getting that. Bloodsea is an abomination. Thank you. I'm not the only one who thinks like that. I've seen people actually say that they preferred Bloodsea, and that kind of broke my heart. But yeah, definitely. I usually read Frankenstein once a year, and I usually read it in like October, November. So I'm getting... I should pick this up soon. Those people are wrong. They're 100% wrong. But yeah. It's nothing special to this collection. It's not like, you know, it's not expensive. It's not really a collectible. It's maybe $10-ish or something. You can probably find it cheaper. It's just like, I really like this edition because of the illustrations. I like old school illustrations in black and white like this. And some classic books really have them, but this is like a new production of Frankenstein, but with the old classic illustrations. I first read Frankenstein in college and I was truly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was not at all what I expected. Many people say that. Frankenstein is not really a horror story either. It's more about sadness and loss and being an outcast and an outsider. So it's more sad, but it's very relatable. And up in this house, we do not like Victor Frankenstein. He's a horrible person and he don't deserve a monster. And he's not even a monster to begin with. He's only acting like a monster because that's how people treat him because of his appearances. And we all know we cannot judge a book by the cover, right? Except for my books, because my book covers are beautiful. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Oh, it's the tower. Some other books that I have that's more like, you know, happy memories are, you know, the Goosebumps books, but I have the Swedish editions. And the Swedish Goosebumps would be Kalla kårar. And I have some of these. I like them because they're so fun in the 80s, 90s covers, you know, it's kind of funny and the old style school. And we had like so many of these in my middle school, and it just brings back so many memories. The Goosebumps books were what got me into reading horror in the first place. And it also helped me a lot with my dyslexia when I was younger. So I have some old Goosebumps books. I'm also working on a video where I'm gonna read all of them. I think I read somewhere that it's like 62 or 63 Goosebumps books. And I decided that I'm going to make a video where I read every single one of them and rate them. That's a video idea I'm working on. It's probably gonna take a while until I'm done. These books are not that, you know, they take me roughly 1 or 2 hours to finish, maybe 1.5, you know. They don't take that long to finish. But they are 60 books after all, so and I do want to read some other stuff in between, so maybe early next year we can get a video of me, and I might do it into a vlogging style where I vlog myself reading all of them and giving you my up-to-date, like, you know, number 1 was like this and number 2 was like this. We will see. But I thought it was like fun to share. I just took the first one in the bookcase. I have multiple of them, so they're fun. Definitely fun. Stay. Also, you hiccuping sometimes, yeah. If I talk too much and I forget to like swallow my saliva, I swallow and it is too much to swallow at once, I do a little hiccup, like a burp hiccup. I don't mind me. I used to read these in the school library. Oh, so did I. I love R.L. Stein and the Goosebumps books. Sadly, he never came to the elementary school when I was a kid. Oh, really? Yeah, I heard he would visit a lot of schools. He would like go on like a tour and go to every school library. Another one that I have all of them, is I just took the first one that I had. It's the Harry Potter books. I own all the Harry Potter books in a Slytherin edition, which means like it's green. It has the Slytherin crest and it's green on the side as well. And I am a Slytherin person. So that's why I have these. In the beginning of the book, you have some lore about Slytherin, and I have everyone but the last 2 books, and then the normal book starts after that, of the Slytherin talk. I love fancy page. Yeah, me too. I don't have many of them, but I have some. Here you have Severus Snape and his Patronus. Hufflepuff supremacy. Oh no, you're telling me you guys are not Slytherin like me. How sad. This came out as like a 20-year anniversary edition. If you didn't buy them when they came out, you can almost not find them anymore. I think you can find them as paperbacks, but finding them as hardbacks are really hard. I'm trying to find the last 2 in my series and it's really, really hard. I heard that the Slytherin and Gryffindor was the hardest to get your hands on, but Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw wasn't as hard. But Gina, my best friend, she's a Ravenclaw and she has a hard time finding the Ravenclaw as well. So she started buying 2 or 3, and then she decided to buy, because you can buy them as like a box with all of them for like $150, $100, $120, something like that. And you got all books in one, and you got them in like a present box kind of thing, and it was hardcovers. And because you can't find them one-on-one anymore. And if you do find them, because I was looking for the last 2 in Slytherin edition, they were like super expensive, like ridiculously expensive. Like people wanted $500 for it. And I'm not even a big Harry Potter fan. I find them okay. I don't really like J.K. Rowling or her way of writing. I just felt like it was kind of like a cool edition to have. But now I kind of feel like, you know, I don't have the last 2. So what's the purpose? So now I'm just like, I don't know what to do with the series, because I can't buy them, so I have like a complete collection, but I do have most of them, you know? I don't know. I never read Harry Potter, but my sister made me do the test and I got Slytherin. I see, you too. I feel like it's funny that most people think Slytherins are just evil when they're not. We're just like do things by the book and stuff like that, you know? We're very like... Oh my god, my migraine brain and 0 IQ is just like rolling around now. It's just a big fog in my brain. Okay, I don't know. I don't know now. But I also don't know what to do with this, because like I have most of them, but I don't have all of them. And if you don't have all of them, what's the point? And I'm not huge on Harry Potter. I didn't read them as a kid. I read them like 2 or 3 years ago. I know, I read them as an adult. And maybe that's the problem, because as an adult who read a lot of books before that, I was just like, oh, okay, it's nothing that special. But I can understand when it came out, it was special because there was not a lot of books like this back in the day. Now there's a lot of magical books like this. So it's just like one of many. My friend recently made me watch every movie and I wasn't a huge fan either. Yeah. I kind of feel like I'm a bigger fan of the movies than I am of the books. Like the books were like alright, but the movies were pretty good. I saw that my local cinema is doing a movie marathon with all the movies in one night. I don't know if I want to go though. I kind of want to go because it's a cool idea, but I don't know if I want to spend money on actually going and doing that. You know? I grew up in Harry Potter because my mom is a really big Potterhead. Hello, Flagler. That's like 14 hours of movie. It is. Personally, I'm not really a Potterhead myself. Yeah. Typical Slytherin trying to explain how Slytherin is not evil. Shut up. I just like killing people, okay? It's not that bad. I just like seeing people suffer. What do you mean? I'm not bad. You're the one who's bad. Slytherin isn't evil, they misunderstood. I take it back, she's evil? No, definitely. I'm 100% misunderstood. What are you talking about? A true movie marathon is watching all the extended edition of Hobbit films, followed by the extended edition of The Lord of the Rings. I did that with Taylor. It was really fun, but we did the Hobbits first, the extended together, and then we did like a few days in between, and then the Lord of the Rings extended versions together, because I don't think I could do all of them in one night though. Like, or I don't know. Maybe now, because like when we did it, I didn't have a sofa and my living room was just bookcases, so we had to like sit on the wooden floor and our butts was in pain. Maybe now, when I have a more comfortable space to actually watch movies, it wouldn't be that bad. But sitting on the floor was kind of cold and painful for my old body. Another edition that I have is also gold, but this one is not gold like that. I have, I think it is Flor is no bueno. Exactly, Yuan. Flor no bueno. This edition, I have 24 books that looks exactly the same, except for the side. Here it says Tolstoy, and then it says a book here. So I bought this on a second-hand store. It's 24 books that looks the same. It has the bookmark, and it's Swedish translations of every Russian classic that you need to read in your life, basically. And it's written in Old Swedish, so it's very, very old Swedish. Like, this is a Leo Tolstoy. This is his The Cossacks and some other short stories. And when I read Anna Karenina and War and Peace, I fell in love with Russian literature. I started reading more, and I just felt like this is something that I've been missing in my life. I want the dystopian, depressed white man from Russia to tell me sad stories about society and how fucked up it is and how cold it is and how we don't have any food. I don't know. Russian literature was just my jam one summer 2 years ago. And I went into a second-hand store and I found these. They are published in... Oh, look how pretty they are! This is called Big Russian Stories, because they have all the Russian stories in here. It is published Oh, it doesn't actually say. Does it? Am I blind? I remember it was published like in the 40s, 50s. Am I done? Maybe it says in number 1. I didn't bring number 1. This is probably number 13 or something in the series. But it was published around the Second World War. So it's definitely in very old Swedish. It does have some issues with some coffee stains and stuff like that, but I really like it. It's very pretty. It has, you know, all the big Russian names and some others that I don't know of, but it has, you know, Tolstoy, it got Dostoevsky, it got Gogol, you know, all of them named Vladimir. No, you know, I don't know. I just really like Russian literature. I need the address of this second-hand stores you visit. The one in my area have books with thermite and dog ears. Oh no! Oh no! Fun fact: when I go to different countries, I go to second-hand stores and I look for books. It's the same like when I go to different cities in Sweden. I also be like, oh, do they have like a second-hand store or something? And then I go and look at books. And I can stay there and look for a long time. And then sometimes you just really find, you know, the golden little glimmer, and that's the happy times. But I can tell you, I've been many times to places and I'm just, what the fuck is this? And why are they even selling this? Because this is just a ruined book and they want maybe $10 for it, and it's not even new. It's just like you can see like a baby been biting off half the book, you know. Mine all are weird dolls and sad shares. Oh my god, I do like weird dolls though, you know, haunted dolls. Cool. We only have one book left, which is pretty good because we have been streaming it for 2 hours and my migraine is not happy with me right now, so I do need to lay down. So that's perfect. The last one we have is not an old book at all. I bought this on a book convention. We have a big book convention in Sweden that's called the Book and Library Convention. It's probably one of the biggest in Europe, at least. I've heard at least. Every year we have a theme and we invite people like authors or publishers or everything. And then it's just like, you know, as a librarian, I get to go for free for my job because they send every librarian there. And, you know, there's like seminars about how to read better, what to read, how to recommend books better, how to make kids read more, and, you know, all that jam. One year I went and I found this random author, Tora Wall. She's a Swedish one. You can't find this translated, sadly. I just want to show it because it's so pretty. I can see Bigfoot. It's not actually Bigfoot. This is a different creature, and it's an encyclopedia of different Nordic countries. Ha! Migraine, please! Nordic creatures. Oh my god. Looks heavy. It is kind of heavy. It's strangely heavy. It's also in leather. With some foiled stuff. And it has more on the side and then on the back. And here you can have some of the names of different creatures you can find. It's everything from trolls to werewolves to man-bears to giants to dragons to the devil, you know. Näcken, the Mara, Lyktgubbe. There's a lot of Swedish kind of like creatures. If you're having a migraine, get some rest. I shall after the stream. But it has a lot of illustrations in it and facts, because different places in Sweden have different kind of like mythology. So what we call them here I live doesn't necessarily mean that they call them or they have the same kind of story or lore for them in a different place in Sweden. So here they talk about all of them. This is a cool one. Bäckahäst or Bäcka horse. It's a huge horse that kind of like make kids and children ride him. So they sit up on him, and as soon as all the children is on the horse, because he's like, come and ride me, I'm a beautiful white horse and I'm so fun. And sometimes he looks like a unicorn and he just makes the kids, you know, sit on him. And then he jumps down into the river and he drowns the kids. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Really beautiful. I like it. The horse looks like it's made of clouds. Kinda. Oh, there's a kelpie, I think it's called. Oh, you guys call it the kelpie? Yeah, some of the mythology stuff are like, you know, we have like different stories everywhere, don't we? But sometimes they are the same, but we have like different names for them. I've been kinda contemplating making a video on different Nordic mythological creatures, because there's so many stories that you can find on these like Viking tapestries, and I feel like only us people in the Nordic get to like enjoy them because we understand them with all the runes and everything. So I've been thinking about doing like maybe a video talking about all the mythology stories that we have. Yeah, Santa is very weird in Sweden as well, for those who didn't know. He is not as nice as he are or is in other countries. Do it? That would be cool. Yeah. I'm thinking about making one for Halloween maybe, because most of these are, I mean, they were kind of like, you know, the Grimm brothers, you know, they told and came up with mythological creatures to make kids and not do naughty things, you know, like do not go too close to the lake, or do not go too close to the woods, or do not go there by yourself, and do not stay up too late, and don't do anything bad to the farm animals, or this will happen to you, you know? So it's more like you told stories to the kids to make them like, you know, not behave badly. And I feel like, you know, that's how most stories start. But it's one of my favorite encyclopedia that I have. So I wanted to show like, you know, a non-fictional book that I had that was kind of pretty. I do have a lot of encyclopedias about, I have one with different symbols, what different symbols in different regions of the world means. Because like, you know, one symbol can mean something here, but it can also mean something completely different in a different part of the world. And I find that very interesting, especially when you read a book, because like, you know, because they have a lot of synonyms and different symbols, and depending on who wrote the book, that symbol has its specific meaning in that book, especially if you read classic literature that I do, and there's a lot of symbolisms everywhere. But I like this one because I think it's the biggest collection that we have of Nordic creatures, and I really like it. It's actually the last one. I have showed you all my favorite golden coins of my collection. Like I said in the beginning, like, you know, wait. we go back. I always feel like, you know, when I look at my books and my bookcase, I'm like, oh, like I don't have anything pretty or I don't have anything special to show. But I think it's like, you know, I've owned my books for so long that they're just normalized to me. So I really have to like really start thinking and being like, but this is kind of special, or this is kind of expensive if you think about it, or this is not in print anymore but you have it, or this is. But a lot of the books is also like, you know, it's very subjective what I like and what I enjoy, and I don't think everyone likes the same things, you know. Like you all saw, the gold edges and the gold books were definitely a big thing for me. I really like my gold on my books. I just really like the gold foil, you know? The look of it just makes me happy. Yeah, that's what makes this cool, yeah. I feel like, you know, everyone is so different in what they like, and sometimes I feel like a book is really beautiful, but I can't really tell why. So I've also been thinking that it would be fun to do like a tier list where I ask everyone to just like send me a picture of their favorite book cover, like a cover that they feel like this is beautiful to me, and then I will like, you know, rate it what I think without considering what book it is or what the book is about, and only go on like, you know, the cover. How pretty do I think the cover is? And see like, you know, if we think the same. I think that would be a really fun stream to have. Why have a bookshelf if it doesn't shine? That is very, very true indeed. I agree with loving the gold edges and foil. I have completely collection of the Grimm Brothers fairy tales. Oh, I really want to see that. If you want to, you can, you know, post a cool, you know, picture of it in the Discord. I would love to see it. Do you have a fancy edition of Winnie the Pooh? It's probably my favorite children's book. I don't. Or do I? No, I have Peter Rabbit. Is that his name in English? Peter Rabbit. The rabbit. Oh my god. My migraine is just like tricking with me right now. In Sweden we call him Pelle Kanin, so I don't know. His name is Pelle, but I think it's, yeah, Beatrice Potter. Exactly. Yeah. I have a complete collection of those stories, but not Winnie the Pooh. Actually, to be honest, I never read Winnie the Pooh. I only seen Winnie the Pooh movies. Never read the actual book, which is also very interesting because like I looked up like, you know, the most famous or read children's stories. And it's not the same that I read. Like, you know, Winnie the Pooh was not big. Beatrice Potter was not big. I only bought it because I thought it was a cute bunny, and I liked the illustrations from the book that I bought. And that's when I realized that it was a huge children's book story, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know it was famous, but sure. There's so many children's book. It's the spider one. My friend Charlotte, or Charlotte Web Charlotte, something like that. Charlotte's Web, exactly. I didn't know that was also like a big thing. So I actually read it in May of this year, and I really liked it. It was really cute and really wholesome. I liked it. But again, that's not a book that's famous in Sweden at all. We read a lot of Astrid Lindgren and other Swedish authors around here. So they are not very famous. It's the same with like Winnie the Pooh. It's not very big here either. You can find them, but it's not really like sold that much. Have you seen the movie? Have you seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? No, I don't think so. No. I think the last Winnie the Pooh that I remember that I saw was the Tigers movie. I think when he's sad that he's the only tiger. Yeah. Yeah. I have a handful of artsy covers from light novels I could include. Oh, definitely. I think it's like, you know, there's so many covers of books that's, you know, you don't know why you like them. Like, I know why I like the gold ones because, you know, it's flashy and it's fancy and it's cool. But you also have the other one that I showed you in the beginning, the Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's very minimalistic in the style of that cover, but I still really love it because it's so artistically beautiful in itself. I have another couple of ones I really like as well. I didn't want to bring them here because they are not controversial good to show on stream, I think, or show at all. Like, not because the covers are bad, because the covers are super beautiful. Weird, but beautiful, but not bad. It's the books that's bad. That makes it sound like I'm owning something really, really bad, but I'm not. It's just controversial topics, I guess. Cannibalisms and necro stuff. I don't know. Winnie the Pooh went into the public domain like a year or so ago, and someone released a horror film. Oh, it's the horror movie. Okay, I know which one you mean. Didn't they make a second movie of that one though? Like the horror Winnie the Pooh one? I've been thinking about, because a few years ago, or a year ago, I did some narrations, and I've been thinking about making a narration for either Bambi or Winnie the Pooh. I've been thinking about doing a narration for either of them, but it takes so much, you know, time to do the narration, and you have to really articulate everything as someone who's not like, you know, English is not my main language. It takes a lot, you know, and you have to read everything, and it have to sound good, and if it doesn't sound good, it's no good. And sometimes the kids outside my apartment screams, and then I have to like redo everything, and I love hearing your stories. Will you make more stories? I should. That's my answer. I want to, and I should. I think the last one I did a narration to was stories. I'm trying to think. It was the short stories. It was like the Grimm brothers, but not the Grimm brothers. But it was fairy tale stories. I can't remember right now. Oh, there you go. Aesop fables. Thank you. There you go. Before that, I did a lot of Gothic short stories as well, and the yellow wallpaper I did as well, which was pretty cool because the Gothic stories that I did narrations to, I actually found an artist that did illustrations for that one. So I have really personalized thumbnails and illustrations for that. My Vtuber character, but in illustrations of that story, which is pretty cool. I'm fairly new to the channel, but you're narrating like you're talking now, and I'm sure the books are delightful to listen to. Oh, thank you, Yuko. Thank you. I can send some Chinese novels. They're not gold, but some of mystical visual nice. Oh, that's why I like, the Japanese books, because I feel like they're so minimalistic in their way of looking. They look so cozy and warm and wholesome. I think that's why I like them, because they give that warmth when you look at them, There's so many beautiful things that you can do with books, isn't it? It's horrible. It's horrible, like, you think it's going to be like a good thing to be a librarian, and you'd be like, oh, I love books, so I will work as a librarian, that's super smart, super clever. But it also isn't, is it? Because, like, I know every book when they come out. Like, all the new books I know when they come out, both in English but also the Swedish translations. I know when they all going to like and I'm like buying so much books, and I know when they come out. If I wasn't in the loop and I wouldn't know all these books being published, and I wasn't like aware of it, I don't think I would have such a long to be read list. Because it's like 200 books right now, and every time I go to work I'm like, oh yeah, that author is going to release a new book, I need to read that as well. Add to the list. Add to the list. Every time, Oh. Have you gotten around continuing Torture Princess? Not yet. I did receive the second volume, so I have the second one, but I haven't read it yet. Right now what am I reading right now? I'm reading, oh my god, I have to look up the name of the books that I'm reading. Hiccup. Oh yeah. I'm reading, it's a Japanese book. It's called The Kamogawa Food Detective by Hisashi Kashiwai. It's kind of like it's about a restaurant, about a former police officer or detective, and he and his daughter has this restaurant where they recreate foods that people want to eat again. So you can either come and be like, oh, my mom used to make this risotto one time and it was like the best thing I ever ate, but when I'm trying to recreate it myself, it's not turning out to taste the same. Can you please recreate her stuff, So they use their detective skills to see what made the mom's risotto taste different compared to other things. And it can be like, anything from different ingredients, or the water where she lived was different from the water where you live, which made it taste different. And it's just like a very wholesome story, it's very episodic right now. I read the first part where it was about a husband who is going to remarry. His first wife is dead and he wants to taste her food again, but no matter how much he tries, he can't recreate a specific thing that she made. So he's asking them to create it for him. And then you get like a list of why it's different and why it tastes different. And as someone who do cook a lot, it's very fun to read and take part of. So that's kind of what I'm reading right now. I wanted something easygoing. It's also, the book cover is a big cat on it. Did I pick it up because there was a big cat on it? Maybe. We don't have to talk about it. But maybe. Perhaps. Perchance. I hope you will enjoy it when you get into it. I have returned. Welcome back, Brian. We're done with all the books that I was going to show. Well, hi, Skippy. Welcome. Hope you're having a great stream so far. Yes, I am. I'm getting really tired though because my migraine is killing me. Do you have a large reading backlog, or Did you not think it that way? Do you mean like how many books that I've read in total my entire life, or do you mean like books that I want to read? Sorry, I'm a bit slow. Because I have a list of books I want to read, and it's on 276. Okay, 276 books I have on my list. I use Goodreads. If you guys want to be friends on Goodreads, you can send me a friend request. I think I have the link in the description down below. If you guys use the app Goodreads, of course. There you also can see what I'm reading currently, and what I have read, and what I want to read. That's a lot of books yet to read. I know. And like 3 times a year, I try to go through the list and be like, you know, no, that one I don't want to read anymore. Or, you know, I don't know why I added this to the list, but I'm not interested anymore. And I delete stuff from the list, but it's just, it keeps growing. I don't know why it keeps growing. It's horrendous. Your YouTube link is dead for me? No! Oh wait. Let me... I can probably give you my YouTube Goodreads link. Someone else told... Can't log in. Sign in. No. I'm having issues logging into the Goodreads. I don't really use it on my my PC. Something I hate about Goodreads is that it's not optimized, the website or the app. It has so many flaws to it. If I could, I would definitely use something else. I know there's a lot of tons of like other apps or websites that you can use that are exactly the same, but that also means that I have to like move everything from Goodreads to the new website, which means that I have to like have both of them up at the same time and add everything to my new reading list on my new website or my new app. And to be fair, that sounds like a lot of work, and I'm not sure I'm up for that. Okay, here we go. Here's my... Yeah. Here, let's see. There we go. I will pin my Goodreads. There we go. That should work, right? I think the poor optimization is what makes me not use it and always forget it. Yeah. Added friend, yay! But yeah, I also forget Goodreads. And it's also like, you know, I read so much for work that I kind of forget about using Goodreads for like books that I read for work. And then I'm like, you know, I think to myself that, but you should use it for books that you read outside of work. But then I'm like, oh, but every book is a book read even if I use it for work. So sometimes I add them and sometimes I don't add them, but I really should add them. Then I also read a lot of books that you can't find on Goodreads, and back in the day it was a lot easier to add the books yourself. But now you have to be some sort of like librarian and have some authorization to add those to the collection, which is bummer because that takes a lot of time. And I don't do that. So it says that I have so far read, let's see. It says on Goodreads that I have read 87 books this year. I can tell you I've read double of that. I've read probably 200 or something. So it's, I don't know. Do you have a book club? I had a book club on the stream once. We read one book every month, and then we had like a discussion on stream where I talked about the author, the background of the book, and then like, you know, some symbolisms of the book, and then we had like free open mic for anyone who wanted to say something, basically. But it always ended with me just having a big presentation and no one wanting to say anything, which is cool. But it also turned out that no one actually did read the books. And I felt like it was a lot of work when nobody wanted to read the books anyway. So I kind of stopped. But I do miss it, and I do kind of want to do it again. But I'm thinking about maybe not doing it in a live stream format, and maybe in a more Discord format, that we pick a book in the Discord and then once a month we have like a group discussion, you know, just a group discussion where we talk about the book either in chat or in voice. But I'm not sure. Discord could work. Yeah, I think so. Definitely. But it's just it was also hard to pick books to make everyone happy, because I wanted, you know, as a librarian, I know that picking a book for book club, you need to pick not just a book that's, you know, famous or something. You kind of need to pick a book that's also have something that you can discuss, or something that's maybe a little bit controversial that will spark either anger or sadness or interest or something, you know, because you want to have something to talk about, right? Preferably have a book that people have different opinions on, because then you can really talk about it and be like, you know, these people are for and these are against, and then you can be like, you know, why do you think like that, and blah blah blah. It's kind of, you know, boring to read a book and everyone agrees on everything, you know. So you kind of want to pick a book that's good for discussions. And it's hard to find a book like that everyone also will enjoy reading. Does that make sense? You could always pick 4 books and have a vote. Yeah, we did that, but nobody really voted. It could also be that when I did this, I had like, you know, big, huge ideas, and my channel wasn't that big at that time. So I think it might have been, you know, I was a little bit before my time and I wanted to do a lot, but I didn't. We were not that many book people in the Discord or the community yet. So maybe that's where I went wrong, if that's maybe something. As long as it's not Harley Quinn romance books, I'm good with whatever. Yeah. But I definitely want to do it. Maybe we can do our first one for like November or December. I just need a little bit more time to figure out logistics, you know, and stuff. But it's definitely manageable, you know. You know me, I read 1 book a day, kinda, so I can definitely do it. Hiccup. Perhaps you need a small circle of people who you trust would read and prepare for the book club. Yeah, I thought I had that then too, or a lot of people were like, you know, they wanted to, or they talked about wanting to, but then, you know, life always happens, you know. And you know, sometimes people are like, oh, I had so much to do with work, or, you know, I wanted to and that sounded really interesting but I just couldn't. And then you also have like the shy people who they want to join and be in it, and they do read it, but they don't really want to be part of the discussion, which makes sense, you know. You have the lurkers, and that's 100% valid as well, and you don't want to call them out. It's like, you know, if you want to be there and just like enjoy listening, that's fine. But if everyone are shy and nobody wants to discuss, we don't have a discussion, and it's hard to be like the only one talking, you know. Mm. I'm broke as hell at the moment. Yeah, I know that feeling. Yeah, I feel like we can maybe read some Christmas-ish book. You know, I feel like December is maybe a good option. I can come up with some more information closer to November, and then we start the 1st of December, maybe. Hogfather. Oh, haven't. Maybe, actually. If you want to, you can copy the suggestions of books that you guys think would be a good match, and I will look into it, definitely. But now it's soon 10 o'clock, and I've been streaming soon for 3 hours with a migraine, and I do feel like, you know, I'm starting to be really dizzy, and I have a fog in my head, and I really need to take some more painkillers and then sleep. But thank you everyone for being here. It was a really fun stream. I really enjoyed it. It's my birthday next weekend on Sunday, the 22nd. We're going to have a 3D model stream. I haven't commissioned for my private or customized VR room yet. So we're going to be in a public private library room. So it's not going to be super personalized. But I'm working on my own model. So my model is going to be done for that. So far I have these, I was gonna say pigtails, but they are not, they are long braids. And I have a summer dress, which is super cute. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Because I do have a VR, but it's hard to find VR models or clothing that's not sexualized. I don't know how to make my own clothing yet, and it's hard to find someone to commission to make clothing for me because I don't really know what I want yet. But there's a lot of artists out there that make clothing that you can buy and you can add to your avatar. So you buy, like, you know, the commercial rights and everything, which is what I have done with a summer dress. But all of these clothes are usually sexualized, and it's really hard to find something that's wholesome and cute and to my style that I want. So it's really hard. I really need to find someone that can, like, make what I want, but I don't know what I want yet. So I think, oh, it's so hard. So many things to think about. Happy early birthday. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Time zone differences could also be an issue for the book club. That's very true. That's very true. But when it comes to me, if it's a weekend, I can definitely do any time. So maybe we can do like a voting what kind of time zone or time that would work for everyone. As well. I will write it down. I'm writing time zones, question mark. So many things to think about, right? Oh, there we go. Okay, but now I shall take a sleep as the queen I am for at least 8 hours. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Oh, wait. Before I go, there's so many things I need to do. I have membership giftings because, you know, as I get 10 free every month. So I'm gonna gift 10 members to 10 people randomly. If you're lucky, you get one, I guess. Let me gift the member stuff. That's 5, and that's 5 more. Yay! Let's go! Thank you for the gift, yes! It's a new feature that YouTube have that every content creator get 10 members that they get to gift every month. So I saw that I had 10 stuff to gift, so yes, easy dodge. No, you dodged again. Oh no. Oh, that's so sad. Next time, we will get you next time, I promise. I didn't get one. No, you didn't get one either. Oh no. Next time. Anyway, good night everyone, and thank you for being here and watching my books with me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.